Yes, it's that time again, people. It's Saturday night. It's not 10 p.m., it's 9 p.m. I'm, of course, Ashif.ashik. Same place, but different setting. And I'm here with you with Keeping It Real. So, for those of you who have been watching me the last couple of weeks over on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, and Clubhouse, I'm for the time being only going to be on Instagram and YouTube, and coming live with you, and obviously for people who are watching later on. So for those of you who know, who don't know, I am Ash. Follow me on Instagram, Ashif.ashik. For the last month, for all of February, I've been coming to you live at 10 p.m. with The Real Show via Yettis Kitchen. At the moment, it's going to be moving over to Keeping It Real on my social media followings and all that kind of stuff. But we're keeping it going. And sorry if you hear any noises in the background, just hold on a sec. Right, I'm back. Just needed to get my favourite pillow, my pink fluffy pillow. It is a bit nippy, I've just had a bit of a walk, so I've still got my scarf on, still got my jacket on. But I'm here with you for another Saturday night of entertainment, movie talk, TV talk, sports talk, and maybe a little bit of cringe and just having a bit of a laugh. But thank you to everybody who joins in live, because for the last month, you know what, I've not had that many, but I've had quite a few people tune in live, and I've had a lot more people watch it after in their own time on YouTube, and I've had some really good feedback. I've had some constructive feedback, and I have also had some funky and junky and a bit like negative feedback and criticism. But at the end of the day, this is something that I've discussed for so long, and you know what, I wish I did it sooner. But anyway, there you go. Tonight I ain't got water, I've got a bit of pop, so I'm gonna have some pop. So please do excuse me, I'm having one of them days where I'm really thirsty. So, starting first and foremost, hope you're all well, hope you're happy, hope you're just smashing life as best as you can, and hopefully you're not smashing any doors or windows along the way. But 8th of March, you know, we're getting, you know, it's round the corner. We've got through the first week of March, 2 months down, 10 months to go, and you know, hopefully it's the beginning of the roadmap out of the lockdown. Get away from my drink, my drink, no, leave my drink alone. No, come here, if you want something, come here. No, leave my drink alone, come here. You come here. Sorry, got a little bit of disturbance here, so I do apologize for that. It will be alright. Okay, yeah. Leave me alone. Okay, go. So there you go. So yeah, 8th of March, schools are going back. Primary schools, secondary schools, colleges, universities. Oh well, them students pay their fees, so I'm not bothered about them. Just have the professors sat at home and doing their own thing, and they can teach from Zoom and Boom and whatnot. But you know, it'd be great to get kids back into the classroom. You know, I think they've spent a lot of time at home. Again, you know, this is probably a subject I'll touch on a little bit more later on, about, you know, mindset, mentality, and time periods and kids and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you know, if it was me and I was still in high school and it was this happened back then, and it was like, oh, well, you're not going to be at school for X amount of months. You know what? It probably wouldn't really affect me or bother me or make me stressed out as much. But you know what? The time period is different, and I know I'm kind of jumping from topics, but I'm kind of trying to stay on the same one. The main difference is, what are you doing, cat? Oh, what are you doing? Okay, high five. You want me to pick you up? No? Okay. What you got to remember, the main difference between now and 15 years ago is 15 years ago, we didn't have 15 years ago, yeah, it would have been about 15 years ago or a bit more. We didn't have all these social media platforms. There was no Snapchat, there wasn't no Insta, Bebo, Vivo, Jibo, Ahu, whatever. And therefore, you know, as young people, we didn't stress as much. You know, the still stress of growing up was still there, being a teenager, puberty. Yeah, Hamid, completely agree with you. I'll come back to that in a second. Puberty, growing up, friendships, girlfriends, boyfriends, relationships, skin problems, funky hair and all that kind of stuff. You know, but if say somebody commented on your appearance or something about you, you'd only deal with it at school and you'd go home and you'd forget about it, or you wouldn't think about it as much until the next time you'd go to school, and then the weekend would give you a big break. Whereas now, because of social media, because of WhatsApp, because of Instagram, because of all this kind of stuff, you know, people are talking, could be constantly talking about a certain young individual, etc. Completely agree with you, Mr. H. Too early for schools to go back, man. It's too early to go back, Jack. Yeah, completely. What are you doing? She's gonna end up jumping on my back, probably. You can see her. Look, she's there. Can you see her? Suki, here, come on. Yeah, oh yeah, now you're listening. Now you want to be my friend. Here, come on. Come on. Come here. Come here. So, going back to school, is it a bit too early going back to school? You know what? It probably is, because you know what I would suggest is that, hello? I would suggest that, you know what, the Easter holidays are around the corner. Hello, what do you want? You know what, I've been at home all day because Saturday is a rest day, and what? And you know what, she's ignored me. She's been sleeping for most of the day, and as soon as I get on this, as soon as I get live, she wants to be my best friend. But there you go. So do I think it's too early to go back? Potentially, yeah, because you know what, we're kind of in the same scenario that we were in last year. And what do I mean by that is, well, if you look at coming out of the lockdown, going back to school and all that kind of stuff, the only difference between this year and last year is last year we didn't have a vaccine. That's the main difference. So hopefully the vaccine works, etc. But I mean, kids going back to school, I think people don't realize that kids going to and from school, adults going to work in schools, bus drivers, taxi drivers, shopkeepers, supermarkets, all this kind of stuff, they're getting involved with all these, you know, coming into contact with all these different people, and you know, potentially, you know, it could spread. I mean, my theory is potentially young people are carriers and they spread it more, and then you get it real bad. Hello, if you want to come to me, come. Yeah? No? Okay, bye. But watch it, I bet she comes back in a second. What do you want? Can you just tell me? Do you want me to move this out of the way? Right. Hi guys. Sorry, I'm really not ignoring you. I'm really trying to she's playing boxing with me, that's what it is. Let me see if I keep my hands up here, if she'll nails. Right, I'm talking about school here. What are you doing? If you want to come and give me love, give me a kiss up here. Otherwise, get out of the camera. Otherwise, come and sit up here. Come on. Up. Good. Right, hopefully she'll stay there. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, you know what? We probably are going to go back to school, and hopefully all we can do is, you know, positive, stay on top of our health, bit of vitamins, bit of minerals, all that kind of stuff, and try and stay healthy and keep our immune system up. The only thing I do differently if I was in charge is I'd probably make the kids go back to school after Easter, because I just feel like, and I mentioned this on last week's show, that we're going to make kids and teenagers go back to school. It's probably going to be a staggered start, and you know, parents are a little bit stressed, teachers are a little bit stressed. I think kids are really stressed and anxious. I think a lot of young people are excited to go back, but a lot of young people is creating a lot of anxieties and, you know, a bit of panic, etc. And don't forget, there is going to be COVID testings in school regularly until summer, at least until July. It wouldn't surprise me if they carry it on in September. I don't think this problem's going away anytime soon. So that's that. I mean, some people have had the vaccine, they've been cool with it. Some people have had the vaccine, they've been ill for a day or two. I know some people who have had the vaccine and they've been KO'd for a week. I mean, you know, you just got to be sensible. You know, keep yourself healthy. If you can work from home, you know, do it and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you know, whether you believe in something or not, but fingers crossed, God willing, people being healthy and cautious, etc. Hopefully, you know, leading into summer, we can have a decent summer. Me and our family and friends have a barbecue, have a good time, and all should be good. But at the same time, you know what, I'm just thinking a lot of people are struggling in this lockdown, mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, financially, and otherwise. And anyway, but what I'm saying is, I think once everything starts opening, I'm glad it's a gradual open of shops and takeaways and restaurants, because if they opened up all at one go, I think people are gonna have such a bad itch. And what do I mean by that? I think they're just gonna want to go out straight away and spend, and go to the restaurant, and go to the club, and go to the bar, and go buy some new clothes, and go book a holiday. And you know what, who knows what's gonna happen tomorrow, so just be a little bit cautious. I mean, you know, two main things that I can see out of this lockdown, well, three main things if you want to call it that, or a couple of main things, I mean, it'll be different for everybody, is, you know what, time is precious, make the most of it, and do everything and anything that you can. You know, health is everything, but also money talks. You know, it's, you know, money isn't everything, but money talks. I mean, you know, if you're in a situation where, you know, you've got quite a few quid and stuff, you know, you can invest in properties, etc. But we're not all fortunate in that way. Some of us have lost our job. You know, I'll be honest, I'm not working as much as I normally do. People that know me know I'm a workaholic, but I'll be honest with you, at the moment, I'm probably hitting about 20 hours a week, but it is what it is. Anyway, moving on to entertainment. Week one of my show, week one of the real show, which if you've not watched, you can watch on YouTube. If you type in Yettis Kitchen, you'll find the week one, episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I think on my own YouTube, you'll find the best bits of episode 1. Sorry if you can hear the crunching in the background, that's the cat eating away. WandaVision. I watched the first episode of WandaVision, and there was a couple of things I noticed, and I was like, well, I think X, Y, and Z. But I didn't want to say too much, because one thing I've noticed now is, I think a lot of TV programs and movies, the expectation is there, and then because of all the theories and rumors, etc., the expectation goes even higher. And then the reality is, the quality is up there, but because, you know, such and such a people didn't see such and such a character, they're like, it wasn't good. But essentially, WandaVision, they were saying there's a fantastic, you know, cameo appearance, and it's gonna be on par with the Luke Skywalker and the Mandalorian and all that kind of stuff. And quite frankly, you know, the guest star in WandaVision was Vision, or should I say White Vision. That was the cameo. And then obviously Wanda's become the Scarlet Witch, if you're into comics and Marvel and DC and all that kind of stuff, which we will talk about DC in a second. I thought the season was decent. I thought the episodes were fine. I thought, you know, there could have been a bit more cameos maybe, even if they were little ones. But you know what, there's a budget, and you know, you can only have so many characters in one thing. But I think for a TV show, I think they did really well. Obviously, coming up next, they've got Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which will carry on the Marvel Cinematic Universe from like the Captain America perspective. And not to forget, you'll have the Eternals coming out as well. But DC, we're only about 2 weeks away from the 4-hour Justice League Snyder Cut. I'll be honest, I've had a read through and seen some artwork from what should have come after the Justice League. Again, kind of a bit on par with Avengers. I think there's like 3 Avengers movies. Yeah, there's like Infinity War and Endgame and all that kind of stuff. And you know what, the Justice League version really is on par. And if you don't want to know too much, I'm going to talk about for about 2 minutes about the Justice League. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers, I'm not talking about the 4-hour Snyder Cut that's coming out. I'm talking about what could be. I'm just going to mention a few things. There is Lex Luthor, what's he called, Deathstroke, Black Lantern. You know, Lex Luthor makes his own like Justice League, anti-Justice League, or whatever you want to call it. Lois is carrying a baby, but it's not Clark's. What else was there? Cyborg is literally half the man he was. There's quite a few deaths, but I mean, should they, or had they, or will they ever make the next 2 movies? Sorry, I'm rubbing my eye quite a lot, and I don't like that because it doesn't look good on the camera. I've got a bit of a sore eye. You can see that. Yo, Rocky Balboa. But anyway, Justice League, Don't knock it till you try it. I think nowadays, let me rewind. Back in the day when movies came out, you saw a little special, the making of or something behind the scenes on TV. Promos, pictures and giveaways in the newspaper and magazines. You saw the trailer in the cinema, or maybe on a video cassette or DVD that you've rented, and you read about it in the magazines. Beyond that, there wasn't much else. Nowadays, because of social media, because of forums, because of YouTube, because of Instagram, every person has an opinion, has a view, and some people are more influential. So if they say, well, this movie is gonna be rubbish and you shouldn't go and watch it, listen, with any movie, if you like something, if you like a certain franchise, if you like a character, whatever, go and watch it. Okay, I'll give you my silly example, or my simple example. Ghostbusters. I like Ghostbusters 1, I like Ghostbusters 2, I like Dan Aykroyd, I like Bill Murray. But you know what, I was waiting for the Ghostbusters 3, it never came out. The video game came out, which is basically if you watch all the video clips from that, is a sequel to Ghostbusters 2. We ended up with Ghostbusters with an all-female cast, and I was like, but it's Ghostbusters, meant to be guys. But you know what, I said, no, you know what, I'm gonna give it a chance, I'm gonna watch it. And you know what, I thought it was okay. I think it could have been a lot better, but you know what, it was entertainment and I can forget about it. I don't need to stress about it, I don't need to cry about it, I don't need to whinge about it. I can literally just say, if there's nothing else on and you kind of like the Ghostbusters, or you've never watched the Ghostbusters, give it a go, you might like it. There's comedy in there, albeit some of it looks forced, but it is decent. And same thing with the Justice League. I mean, I like Batman vs Superman, I think it could have been better. I like the Justice League, I think it could have been better. And you know what, now we're potentially going to get the better version, which is 4 hours long. So you know what, don't knock it till you try it. Don't listen to everybody on social media. I mean, you know, myself working with young people and teenagers, they're always talking to me about Fast and Furious, and I can't stand Fast and Furious, I'll be honest. I like the first one because I think there's a bit of a moral of the story, respect, honor, loyalty and all that kind of stuff. But I think all them themes have just been exploited in the further 8 or 9 sequels. Like, which one are we on now? Fast and Furious 9? Fast and Furious 10? Can somebody tell me? Also, people online, just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, because I was having some issues with the mic earlier. I mean, we've had Vin Diesel jumping, cars flying, jumping over the bridge, missiles and planes, and Jason Statham and The Rock. Now we've got John Cena. It's like, who's going to come in the next Fast and the Furious? Is it going to be Shah Rukh Khan? You know, enough about him anyway. I'm fed up with that guy. But if I say that, oh my god, did he say that? Did he say his first Shah Rukh Khan? Yeah, I went there, I said it. But anyway, that's that. Sport talk. So, Tyson Fury, Joshua, it is happening. It's pretty much signed, sealed and delivered. So that'll be a battle of the ages, the battle of the Britain, a battle of the heavyweights, battle of the undisputed all together. You've got some people that are Team Fury, some people that are Team Joshua. I kind of like both of them as athletes. I kind of almost like both of them to the same extent. I mean, obviously, Tyson Fury, we all know his story. He's come back from literally from the bottom and worked his way up. You know, and Joshua, he's come back from a loss and he's still, you know, worked his way up. And it seems like they're both really switched on and clued up when it comes to business and making money and life outside boxing. I think I said this last week or the week before on The Real Show that, you know what, physiques don't win fights. And I think Big John Fury said the same thing last week when is it Tommy Fury won his last fight, and he said, yeah, he looks good, but he's not a bodybuilder. That's just a bit of light circuit training and boxing work. And lo and behold, which idiot did we have come out? Jake Paul, Logan Paul, whichever one, calling out, you know, being disrespectful to Tommy Fury and be like, oh, I didn't even know there was a Tommy Fury. You know what? I agree with Canelo, because people like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, KSI to a certain extent, but not as much. They are making a mockery of the sport. They are disrespecting the sport. But you know what? Talking about it on as a balanced argument, on one hand, positives, positives, negatives, pros. Oh, well, we can't say positives and negatives anymore. We can say positives and areas to improve on. But I'm going to say the good and the that and the that. So for that, people like Logan Paul, they are bringing more viewers. They are bringing a different crowd. And more people could potentially be watching boxing that might not be watching boxing because they don't like it, they're not into it, but because they like the YouTuber or the reality celebrity, they end up watching it. But the negative side is you've got people that have worked hard, that are amateurs, that have a fantastic amateur background, and not always their own fault. They don't get that platform the same as, say, a social media star. And they work the small fights or the undercards or the little shows, but at the same time you could argue that they could work a bit harder and then get on that platform. But I mean, at the end of the day, and I said this last time and I'll say it again, people like Logan Paul and Jake Paul, they are YouTubers. Okay, it's okay to follow them, it's okay to like their videos, but please understand, they are not athletes. Okay, just because they go and train in some famous gyms or famous coaches, bear in mind, all these people that are working with them, they ain't doing it for free. They're all making money. They've all got deals going on. They've all got little deals behind closed doors going on, like, oh, I'm gonna come and film in your gym and you're gonna hit this many million hits because of me, so you know what, we'll pay you this much, or we'll give you a cut, or you'll take this much share of the purse, etc. You gotta remember, at that level, because they've worked up to it and then now they're making so much money, they ain't gonna do things that often for free, and they ain't gonna do things that often for really less money. So I mean, the thing is, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, when you're at that level of being a so-called influencer or Instagram star, YouTube star, yeah, you are going to get into certain gyms and you are going to make connections easier, and people are going to be your friends because people see you as being marketable. You're a marketable product. But if you're going to step in the ring with a Canelo, with a Tommy Fury, or even another, I'm not going to call him a derogatory name, Kaale. I mean, I don't, yes, good boxer, but I don't like him, don't like his attitude. But even he said, like, it's easy money, but I wouldn't call them out. But if they want to call me out, I'd be happy to kick their backside in. Fair comment. And you know what? Sometimes people do need to be put into their place. But the thing is with these guys is, like, if they step into a boxing ring or a UFC cage, right? They have a legitimate fight, they've been training, it's been sanctioned by the boxing board, and they get really badly injured. Then what do we do then? Do we ban sports? Then we've got to hear their story. Then they're going to start talking about mental health, how it's affected them. And it's happened before. I don't know if some of you guys might be aware of, is it FuziTube? I mean, when he started, he had really funny videos. But I remember telling a couple of my mates, I said, you know what, in a couple of years, this guy is going to have some issues. And to be honest, when he started, he had fun, like prank videos, like Mortal Kombat in the elevator and all that. But towards the end, he's like kicking off with people on social media, kicking off with people in real life, self-image issues and all that kind of stuff. I mean, this is part and parcel of life anyway, but when you're living under a microscope, that's my imaginary magnifying glass. When you're living under a microscope, because you're on YouTube, because you're on Instagram, because you're on TikTok, because you're an influencer, obviously it's gonna have a much more amplified effect on you. But you know what, that's enough about sport talk. We've talked a little bit about sports, we've talked a little bit about movies. What else did we have on the agenda for today? Basically I put up, has anybody got any requests, or has anybody got anything they'd like me to talk about? Because in a nutshell, and I realized I'm not going to be it's not about showing off, but it's about being real, hence keeping it real, the real show, or the real show with 2 E's, because it's movies and TV and all that kind of stuff. But in a nutshell, from leaving school, I kind of had a goal, I kind of had a dream, I had aspirations, I knew what I wanted to do. And I'll share those things with you at another time. But in a nutshell, I was like, I really want to get into theatre and drama, I really wanted to get into TV, and I want to do something in sports. At the age of 15 or 16, as far as my mind could see and as much information that I had, I thought, right, I'll get my qualifications. So I've done the whole college thing. I want to work in a gym. I want to change lives. I want to help people with their fitness. I want to help really slim and like, I don't like using this word, but I'm going to use it. So please don't be offended. Also, forgot to say this at the beginning, guys, this is for entertainment purposes. It's a simple channel, no abuse, and I'm not here to offend anybody, but I hope you don't get offended. If you do, change the channel. Don't watch me, go watch somebody else. But what I was saying was, I wanted to help people as well, especially young people that were really slim or really skinny. Believe it or not, once upon a time I was really super slim, and again, that's another topic for another day. And I trained and educated myself and learned and did the wrong way diet wise. Like once upon a time, after going to the gym, my post-workout meal, if you want to call it that, would be a pot noodle, a tin of tuna and a portion of chips, because all I knew was calorie and protein make your body grow. Fast forward a decade later, I can do all sorts with my physique, but that's because I know what I'm doing. I'm qualified. I've tried it on myself. I've tried it with clients. I've tried it with athletes, etc. But I did, in a nutshell, going back to my point, I did the education stuff and I still am doing it. Like as in I'm still doing qualifications and courses, etc. It never stops. Learning never stops. We should all know that. I did the training and competing stuff, whether that was boxing, kickboxing, cricket, volleyball, hockey, Chinese boxing. And you know what? I might not, put a million posts up, because back in the day, that's not what we used to do. But, at some point, I'll put a nice shelf up somewhere and put all my trophies, medals, belts, and all that kind of stuff. I've done TV, meaning I've worked on TV programs, events, TV shows, live shows, pre-recorded shows, a drama series. And again, albeit I'm not an A-list celebrity, I'll probably be called something like a Z-list celebrity, and that's okay. But you know what? I wanted to do it and I did it. Developed professionally in many different fields, just so I've got something to fall back on. But the thing was, I tried to do everything that I wanted to do and could do, because I just felt so much time is used up in school, and from all that time that's used up in the time that you are at school, about this much is really good, and about this much is, well, it's not here and not there. I don't want to say it's rubbish or a waste of time, even though for some people it might be. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But for me, I felt like if this was all of school, then this portion of it was fantastic. The rest didn't really do anything for me. So I just thought, right, as soon as I'm out of school, I'm in college, and I can kind of play about with my time and my day, because I'm not restricted to 8:45 to 3:30, because your college timing is different, your free time is different, your environment's different, the people around you is different, and you usually potentially start a new job, etc. Or you start your first job. I thought, right, I'm literally going to do anything and everything. And some people do ask me, well, how have you done a million things? Your CV must be a blag. There's no way you've got that many certificates or qualifications. And there's one or two people out there that have done a similar thing to me, and they've even smashed it more than me academically and professionally, and kudos to them. I think it's fantastic, because at the end of the day, you got to remember, from 16 to 24, or 16 to, you can even push it to late 20s, yeah, again, depending on your situation and depending on what you want to do, you have got X amount of time where you're still coming into your look, you're still finding yourself, your hairstyle, your look, your clothes, your car, whether you're bothered about what people think, whether you're not bothered about what people think, and everything's kind of quite new. Going out, meeting people, partying, clubbing, bars, relationships, friendships, all that kind of stuff. And the amount of energy you have then, which is never going to come back again, yeah, you can absolutely smash anything you put your mind and your time to, as long as you're willing to push forward. And what do I mean by that? I have missed some parties, I have missed some birthday parties, I have sacrificed going out at times, I have gone out sacrificing my sleep at times, I have missed meals at times. If I'm going to talk about meals, there's some times where I've been really big, there's been some times where I've been really slim, there's been some times where I've been really ripped, there's been some times where I've been really cut, and it's literally just to do with So you know, talk about training. I train according to my scenario at that time. If I got more free time and I can bulk up, brilliant, I'll do it because I can cook and prep my meals. If I ain't, I'm on the go. You know, I've sacrificed sleep, sacrificed chills, sacrificed going out, going to restaurants, going to parties, going to openings of new businesses, going to the cinema, watching a new movie. And it was all because I just thought I want to squeeze in as many things as I can. And you know what? I'm glad I did. The only negative you can do is, you know, I probably did push myself maybe a little bit too much at times, and I suffered the backlash, the consequences of that, because you get run down, you're more susceptible to getting ill and injury and brain fog and all that kind of stuff. But when I'm talking about burning the candle at both ends, I ain't, and again, this is no disrespect to anybody that goes to uni, has a part-time job and then goes home. I am not joking. At one point, I literally always just used to be focused on Sunday night, because Sunday night to Monday is the only day I would go to bed and catch up on my sleep. Because literally Monday through Saturday, there was a time period where I was still studying, I was volunteering, I was coaching, I just began boxing coaching. So this is, I'm talking more than a decade ago. Yeah, damn, it makes me feel old. Damn, am I old? Do I look old? Am I that old? Do I still look the same? Where's my youth? I'm only joking. Remember, Jawani fir na aayega. Jawani ek baar aayega. Jawani fir na. Anyway, yeah, guys, you're only young once, so smash it as much as you can. But honestly, going back to what I said, working, volunteering, coaching, boxing coaching, still finding time to the gym, studying, working retail, and running a friend's shop. I kid you not, there were some days where I would leave the house at 8:30 a.m. And I kid you not, I would be back home for like 3-4 a.m. And because of being so wired and being awake for so long, I would be lucky if I got minimum 1 hour, maximum 4 hours. You know, there was even one day, and I remember I felt so disgusting. I literally had 45 minutes sleep. So I had a 23-hour and 15-minute day. And then I went straight back to work to do another like 23-hour day. But in hindsight, you know what? Can I say it was all bad? You know what? I had some really fun times, some fun memories. But don't get me wrong, I know me talking about it here makes it sound, oh, it was all fun and good. Trust me, it was times where I couldn't be bothered, wanted to give up. You know, people saying things, people belittling you, people telling you, for example, don't go train with Ash, he's a crap PT. Don't go do boxing with Ash, he's crap at boxing. Don't go do kickboxing with Ash, he's crap at kickboxing. But then, you know, at that point, it really did used to bug me and stuff. But then it come to a point where I wouldn't explain myself and literally just tell people that, look, I've always been straightforward with people. If you want to train with me, and I'll talk about, we're going to move on to boxing in a second when I finish this bit. If you want to train with me, fantastic. If not, I can definitely suggest you the right places to go, because I'm not the be all and all. And some people will stay with me forever training wise, whether that's boxing or PT or fat loss, weight loss, whatever, bodybuilding. And some people will move on, and that's absolutely fine, because one thing you've got to remember, and definitely something that everybody needs to realize, definitely as a result of the lockdown, is nothing lasts forever. Even something that looks like a guaranteed outcome sometimes doesn't happen. You know, I mean, you look at businesses that have closed down, people that have got ill, people that have died, people that have become successful, people that have become millionaires, projects that have worked, projects that haven't worked. Nothing's guaranteed. So, like I keep saying, the only thing for sure is that nothing's for sure. So the best thing you can do as a person, as an individual, as a friend, as a family, as a cousin, brother, neighbor, cat, dog, whatever, be the best that you can be. Do the best that you can. Try everything you want to do and can do in your capacity. Go for it. And if it doesn't work out, don't cry over spilt milk. Don't blame anybody else. Get up and move on to the next thing. Some people are fortunate that they can figure out the thing that they're good at and they stick with it and it works out for them. Some people do the complete opposite. They know something's not good for them and they still keep doing it, and then or they're never going to get better at it because it's just not their thing. And I'm like kind of talking more about sports here because we're moving on to boxing. Guys, you gotta like slip and move to the next thing. Don't worry about it. You know, you want to see your future, then look at your present. And the people in your present, look at their past. That's going to tell you their future. Because if the people you're chilling with now are doing the same things they've always done, complaining about the same things they're always complaining about, always negative, never positive, have one good day a month or one good day a week, then you know what, unfortunately, if they don't make an effort and they don't change, then you're going to be stuck in that same scenario. And I think I can agree, especially in the Asian community, etc. You can look at people, I mean, depending on your age, you can see people from 10 years ago and now some of them are still rolling the same way and they're whinging, complaining that nothing ever changes, nothing ever gets better. Well, if you're not willing to work hard, if you're not willing to burn the candle at both ends, if you're not willing to try something, if you're not willing to adapt, then what do you expect? It's as simple as that. And you know, talking about boxing, I have been involved in boxing for as long as I can remember. The people who are older and the people from various boxing clubs know me because I used to go all over the place, and eventually, you know, I ended up becoming a boxing coach. I ended up becoming a boxing coach when I was really young. I think I might have been 18. So, you know, who was going to take me seriously? And that was fine. When I understood that and accepted that, I was like, right, I'm going to do like juniors up to like 14, 15. Yeah, I'm not going to do 16 plus because I just don't feel they're going to take me seriously. I look too young, and I don't have enough experience. Not that I don't know what I'm doing, but just that I'm not you know, if I'm 18 and I've been coaching for 6 months, then I've only been coaching for 6 months. Nobody cares about all the sparring and all the different clubs you've gone and all that. But I felt I had an advantage because, you know what, I not only had my coach's badge, I had nutrition, you know, I've done my sports development and fitness, the nutrition, the diet, so I felt I brought a bit more to the table than just a coach. Anyway, I was under the assumption you work hard, you establish yourself, people know you, people trust you, people can rely on you, and that's it. I didn't think people would badmouth you or say don't go train with this person, don't go train with that person. But you know what? That was my naivety at 18, 19. It's like anything, you know, you work in retail, there's some people that are and moan about stuff. You know, you work in any environment. I mean, excuse me. Look at wrestling. Wrestling is predetermined, but so many kickoffs happen in that backstage, on, well, now more so online on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. Footballers, managers, any profession, I mean, family, friends, people kick off, people badmouth each other. Unfortunately, for some people, that's part of their psyche, that's part of their character makeup, etc. But you know what, at one point I used to get frustrated and I used to explain to people and be like, look, these are my stiffness, I've been doing it for this long and that long. But it comes to a point where, and you know, this isn't that long ago, it's probably about 4 or 5 years ago, it come to a point where I think it would have been about 5-6 years ago. It come to a point where I just thought, I'm not going to explain myself. If I am that bad at coaching and I'm not good, then why have I been doing it consistently and constantly for over a decade? It's as simple as that. If I'm that bad, why do places, thank God, alhamdulillah, employ me? Why do people call me over? I've worked in schools, colleges, I've worked in clubs, youth clubs, all sorts. Work with young offenders, work with, you know, APs, people that have been chucked out of school. If I was that bad, then why would I? But going back to the point of boxing is, people are always going to hate, people are always going to criticize. If you're a young person and you are deciding to go down the boxing route, I think it is really good to have like pictures and videos of what you're doing, but I wouldn't put so much time, effort, energy and mental energy and emotional energy into looking at what people comment about you and what they criticize about you, because that's going to have an effect on you. I mean, look at footballers these days. I mean, footballers 20-30 years ago, they didn't deal with all this because they'd only hear what was being chanted in the stadiums, and they'd only see what would be written in the magazines and stuff. I mean, look at, I'm talking about back in the day now. Google this, Eric Cantona karate kicking a fan. That fan racially abused him. And what he did, as he was getting off, he literally just did a Bruce Lee. flipping flying kicked the guy. Albeit it wasn't professional, he shouldn't have done that, but he put that person in his place. Nowadays, because, and this affects, I think, young people, I think, like, for example, if I'm talking about me, I think it would affect a young person more than it would affect me. Just because I've got a lot older, more experience, different way of dealing with things. I think if somebody commented about something on social media, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. But as a young person that's thinking of like more, just over 3,000 thoughts a day potentially, and what are people gonna think? What are people gonna say? That person's agreeing with him. That person doesn't like me. That person thinks I'm crap. What, am I really crap? And you start questioning things. And all I'm gonna say is, doing all that and ruminating, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy, it drains you, it mentally drains you, it physically drains you, and it's something you could do without. Don't entertain it. You know, when it comes to boxing, and especially if you're local, so obviously for those of you who do know, you know, and those of you who don't, I live in the biggest town in Europe, and its name is Bolton. Famous for Warburton's bread, Peter Kay, Amir Khan, the original home of Reebok, you know, textile mills, and now unfortunately becoming a ghost town for a number of reasons, but potentially being regenerated. Once upon a time, the only boxing clubs you used to go to was the one on Wigan Road, which is Wigan Road Wrestling Club. You'd go to the Old Lads and Girls Club, or you'd go to Barry Mick Jelly's. That was pretty much it. Okay, I think there was Castle Hill as well, Castle Hill Boxing Club. Beyond that, there weren't that many boxing clubs. There weren't that many coaches. But you know what? Fast forward to 2021, and yes, you could argue the population has increased. There are more coaches who have qualified, although that's questionable, because it's like, you know, here's Joe Bloggs. He's a boxing coach. He's been a coach for 3 years, but you know, for the last 20 years, he's been working as an IT guy. It's like, you know, good on him, but is he going to be as good as somebody that's been established and been doing it properly? Because, you know, there's loads of people that want to be coaches, but I think they only look at the good side, like raising the kid's hand and all that kind of stuff. They don't understand the time, the effort, the preparation, the travel, going to local shows, regional shows, national shows, etc. Very rewarding, but not for everybody. But going back to my point, there weren't that many clubs. Now there's a lot more clubs and there's a lot more coaches. But if I had to, and I've said this to many young people, and I'd even say it for myself, so I am talking about me as well, because believe it or not, still at this age, I've got some dreams, aspirations and things I want to do. But in a nutshell, if a young person was training with me and they decided they wanted to go to another coach, or they weren't training with me and they were asking for a coach, and besides me, like, I didn't recommend myself, and they were only staying in Bolton, and they weren't going to go out of Bolton, and they weren't going to train anywhere else because all they could do was stay local, I'll be honest, hands down, I would go train with Tommy Battle. Simple as that. Tried and tested, knows what he's doing, been there, done that. Simple as that. Does what it says on the tin. Some people are going to argue with me, some people are going to disagree with me. You know what? Even if I wanted to start boxing tomorrow for whatever reason, as an amateur, as a professional, for a charity fight, you know what? I would train on my own because I know what I'm doing. But if I wanted a coach and I was going to stay local, I would go to Tommy Battle. It's as simple as that. There's no question, there's no argument, the end. If I was going to go out of town, if I was going to venture out, that's a different story. But the thing is, if you're a young person and you're doing boxing and you're going to be an amateur, then you need to do what's affordable. You don't need to worry about so much about kit, yeah, because that's another topic for another day. Like, I have to wear a dry fit, I have to wear a compression top, I have to wear these special socks. Dude, back in the day, we used to wear a normal, any white 2-pound gunji from wherever, cola shop or whatever. We used to have trainers or pumps. We used to have shorts or joggers, and we got on with it. And we had a pair of gloves, and we looked after them, whether they were £20 or whether they were £100. Okay? It's not the kit that's going to make you a super athlete. It's your consistency. It's your discipline. It's your fitness. It's your commitment. It's your willing to go above and beyond. Yeah? Even with supplements. If you're a young person, I'll be honest, look, I work with supplement companies. I am going to be working in a supplement shop. I have some partnerships. I have a couple of I've got one or two, I say couple, so I'm telling the truth, one or two sponsors. You know what, if you're a young person, don't worry about supplements. Water, real food, real diet. If you had the odd protein shake here and there, fantastic. But remember, you're not a pro fighter. And you know what, if you can get your body fit and effective with the bare minimum, then obviously when you start moving up levels and you start getting older and you start developing and your body starts maturing, then them things will work better for you. Just remember, all these boxers and athletes do not stay on supplements year round. Okay? And again, supplements are another discussion for another day. What was the other thing? Goals, dreams, aspirations. Do the best that you can with what you have, but remember, sometimes, unfortunately, certain people or certain situations, it could even be a job situations, everybody has an agenda and they think, oh, you gotta make weight, you gotta be like this, you gotta be that. Listen, some people, how can I simplify this? Dead simple. If you can get fit and strong whilst reducing your weight, fantastic. Some people reduce the weight and then get fit at that weight and try and maintain it. Some people just train like a horse, and then what they'll do towards the end is cut the weight, and that's it. All those three scenarios work, but they don't work for everybody. Some people can cut weight at the last minute, they don't have an issue. Some people cut weight, they feel drained. Some people can do the training and all the cardio and bring the weight down slowly and get fit at the same time. Some people drop the weight a bit slowly but then get fit at the same time as they're dropping weight. Some people just drop weight and get fit at that weight and then maintain it. You've got to figure out what works for you, and as long as it works, you keep doing it, and when it stops working or you feel like body's not responding, etc., then you swap it. Again, don't believe everything you see, hear and watch on the internet, because again, because of Instagram, there are so many Insta coaches, Insta trainers, and you know what, they might look good cosmetically, they might have some really good looking videos, and they're posing and, oh yeah, I'm so hench and I ate 10 chickens today and I drank 6 gallons of milk and all that kind of stuff. You know what, look at their credentials. Unfortunately, because we live in a world of everything's quick and we want instant results, and oh, that guy looks good, so I'm gonna go train with that guy. What's the guy's credentials? What's their experience? How long have they been doing it? What's their qualifications? How many athletes have they trained? How many normal people have they trained? How many success stories have they got? Have they been an athlete themselves? At the end of the day, look at how many fantastic champion boxers have retired. Are all of them coaches? No, because coaching is not for everybody. Training, being a trainer is not for everybody. Some people are better at being the trained one. But that was boxing talk. Let's see what time we're on. Can I have the time, please? What time are we on? Can I have the time, please? What time is it? 10 minutes left. We'll keep going for 10. Hello? You're coming back? Come on then. Come on. Baby's coming back. You wanna see my baby? Come on. Good girl. Come on. You wanna see her? Come on. Come on. Say hi. Say hi to everybody here. Say hi. Why are you being so shy? Why are you being so shy? Why are you being shy? She's being shy now. So she's been having some naps today. I'm an animal lover. If it was up to me, I'd be like Ace Ventura. I'd come home and have a million animals at home. But it is my baby's first birthday, so I bet she's gonna run away. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Suki. Now you can run away. Go. Whee! Yeah, she's 1 year ago. It's just shy of a year since I got her, and she was a kitten, and I absolutely love her. Animals are awesome. I'd go as far to say sometimes they're better than people, and animals are just awesome. But yeah, that was boxing talk, and I'll talk about a little bit more about boxing on another episode. I am looking to do this once a week, but I might bump it up to 2 times a week or a couple of times a week, or I might bump it into smaller videos, like smaller episodes where one's just sport, one's entertainment, one's training. Talking about training, this is what I wanted to talk about as well. So gyms are going to be opening on the 12th of April potentially. So I'm not just talking about boxing, I'm talking about training in general. Oh look, she's there, she's coming back. People are like, Ash, are you excited? I'll be honest for you, I'm not excited, I'm not disappointed. If they open, great. If they don't open, it's not going to make a difference to me. Obviously people have been asking me how have I been. Staying in shape. No, Nazar, naughty, you don't put a Nazar on me. People are asking me, excited for the gym and all that. I'll be honest, what I've been doing in the meantime, what I've been doing since January is pretty much full body workouts 1 to 5 times a week. If I'm having a good week, if I'm eating well, sleeping well, drinking well, I will do this full body workout 5 times a week with 5 kg dumbbells. If I'm not, it might be 3 days a week, it might be 2 days a week, it might be 1 day a week. For an example, this week I have not even done one workout. I have given my body a rest because my sleep has been absolutely pants. Okay? But I have been walking on average 60 to 80 miles over 5 days, over a week. Okay, I don't do it in one go. So one day I might walk 10 miles, one day I might walk 4 miles, one day I might walk 16 miles. Over the period of the week, that's what it adds up to. And another thing is coming up to 12th of April, God willing, inshallah, it'll be the month of Ramadan, which is the month of fasting, the month of forgiveness, the month of, if you want to look at it scientifically, detoxing mind, body, soul, etc. So for me personally, and there are some young athletes and some teenage athletes and some older boys who are like now in their 20s now, that have been in and around me during Ramadan times, wherever I've been located, whether it's been Nightingale Centre, whether it's been Amir Khan's gym, whether it's been the club, whether it's been my own place, whether it's been a commercial gym. I've always done a little bit of some form of training. But for me, in my opinion, I just think that you giving your body a rest is potentially not going to do it that much bad. Yeah, your cardio is going to suffer, but not as much as your strength. Your strength will probably go down more. I mean, there is like a rule of thumb or a scientific thing where, if you stop training, then your strength is going to go down by 3 times twice a week. And by the end of the month, you're not going to be strong anymore. Listen, everybody's body is different. Even if they do a scientific study on 1 million people, it's going to be different for everybody. It might be similar for some people. Again, using my example, on the last lockdown, obviously didn't go to the gym, did all the bodyweight workouts with you guys on Insta Live, Road to 30 and all that kind of stuff. I was doing bodyweight. I went back to the gym when the lockdown opened, and I went to the gym for about 10 weeks. I think by week 8, I was lifting more than what I was lifting before even the lockdown happened. How does that work? Not everything is gonna be how it is. Going back to training in Ramzan, if you can train in Ramzan, you've got a routine, you've got a super coach, some coach gave you a bayan on how to train in Ramzan while you're fasting, and you think your body can handle it, brilliant. For me, mind, body, soul detox, month of forgiveness, month of concentrate on what you're meant to do, let the body do its job, detox it. What's it called? The body starts eating its dead cells. Basically, there's a process that happens. You always learn in school, GCSE, biology, etc., how we're always producing new cells. But what happens to the old cells? When you're fasting, old cells, there's a term for it, it's completely slipped. Something. No, that's fucked. Anyway, it'll come back to me. I'll talk about it another time. In a nutshell, for me, I won't be training in Ramzan. I'll probably just be going for a couple of walks. Probably like 1 hour before iftari, depending on what I'm doing. Okay? Some people do ask me, oh, well, your physique and sometimes the bodybuilding shows and all that kind of stuff. The thing is, I work really weird times and really weird shifts. I mean, pre-coronavirus, pre-lockdown, I was teaching in a high school, 8:45 till 3:15, and then I was doing youth work and sports development and boxing coaching, 5 till 10. That's a really long day. So trying to fit in the meals and training and all that kind of stuff is difficult. It changes. Some people might be having a 9 to 5, some people might be having a student, some people might be able to rest loads. If you can do a little bit of activity, fantastic. I just think it's fantastic to give the body a rest a whole month, and then when you go back to it, you're refreshed, you're excited, you want to do it, you want to see how much, stronger or not, how much strength you might have lost, how your fitness is at. You've got something to work towards, your body responds better. At the end of the day, use this. Don't just use this. I've given you a couple of examples. You can stay a little bit active, you can stay very active, or you can give the body a rest. It's as simple as that. There's no point going on YouTube and looking at this guy. Oh, this brother is proper hench. Man, he's training every day fasting and his blood is still hench and fit. Who knows what he's doing, what he's taking, how he's living, how he's doing whatever. You gotta look at what's good for you. Some people can work 24/7. Some people can work part-time. Everybody's body is different. But remember, when you're younger, you can push it a little bit more, and you'll be surprised the things that your body can do, and how. I'll give you a really funny story. I can remember once when, if you're from Bolton, you know where Amir's house used to be, Tudor Avenue and all that. And I remember once we were going boxing. I can't remember if we were going Mick Jellies or if we were going Lads Club, whatever it was anyway. But he's like, we'll go eat at my house and we'll go to boxing. And I kid you not, you know what we ate and drank before we went boxing? Like about an hour, 2 hours before boxing. I'm not joking. A plate of kebabs. There could have been 5 plus... might have been about 15 kebabs on the plate. A bottle of ketchup and a bottle of Coke. That's what we had. What you gotta remember, and it's not just Amir, look at all these athletes, and if you're gonna stick to amateur boxing, that's fine. Look at amateur boxing. Do you think they have the best diet 24/7? No, and it goes back to everybody's body is different. Some people can eat junk and still make weight. Some people eat. I used to know one guy. I'm not gonna mention his name, but he's on my Insta. I could tell when he were eating pasties. He could stay on his diet, but if he ate pasties and I think like biscuits and cookies, 3 to 6 pounds easy within that week, just off like 1 or 2 days of pasties and biscuits. Everybody's body is different. Some people can burn it, some people are naturally lean, some people naturally get big, some people put on weight quick, some people put on weight slowly, some people find it really hard to put on weight. You gotta figure out what's good for you. At the end of the day, as a boxer, if you can be fit and strong at a low weight and naturally your weight goes up a little bit, that's brilliant, because then potentially you can grow into that weight as you get older, and potentially should you become a professional. So you might start out at featherweight or lightweight, and then eventually, how many boxers have changed weights? Canelo, David Hay, Amir, there's so many different boxers, and it's about figuring out what's good for you, what works for you. But then the other side of things comes out, which is the business side, making a name, making a brand, making money, and how do you live after boxing. So I think today I've kind of talked a lot about boxing. I think I'm going to do a little bit of overtime today because there was another request. Can we have a time? What's the time, man? What time is it, man? Give us the time. What time is it? What time? Give us the time. Right, so I think we're going to stay for a couple more minutes, and I'm going to touch base on the topic, and this is something to talk on another episode of Keeping It Real. That was meant to be an R. Keeping It Real. K-R-R. Filming, TV, movies. When I was at school, if you picked drama, which I did, people would call you a derogatory name. That, oh, look at him, he's picked drama, so he must be a... Yeah, I don't want to mention that name, I don't want to offend anybody, I don't want to upset anybody, but you can imagine what it is. Either way, derogatory term. Either way, I didn't care. Excuse me, I do apologize for drinking in front of you guys. Either way, I picked drama. I picked drama for a number of reasons. Number one, I liked it. I could do it. I could improvise. I could improvise. I could memorize scripts. And I just thought, not that I don't know how many people will pick drama, or as you'd call it now, performing arts. I don't think that many people will pick it, which means there's less chance for the teacher to shout at anybody. Because I used to hate watching teachers shout at students. But sometimes some students are just idiots. It's as simple as that. Some people just mess about. And I just thought, probably be a nice, easy lesson. And you know what? It was. And surprisingly, 3 of my friends who were in different forms and different classes, they actually picked it. We actually worked together on our GCSE piece, which was the bouncers. But anyway, all through primary school, I was, part of all the performances or the main character. I think on our Levers play, our Levers performance was Pinocchio. And I think I wasn't Pinocchio, I was Jiminy Cricket. Parents always used to come and support and take pictures, and I've been to plays and watched performances. My dad used to run, can you believe it? We had an Asian cinema here in Bolton, and he used to run it. Watched a ton of movies. Anybody that knows me, especially action heroes, 80s, sci-fi, martial arts, I can name so many movies off the top of my head, which I won't do now. Again, that's another story for another day, or another theme for another day. And I was just like, I'm going to do drama. When I did it, I got a good grade. But then when I left school, I was like, you got to remember, this is the beginning of the internet. So not everybody had the internet. I think most mobile phones had WAP, wireless applicable protocol, which was basically internet, but just text-based internet. And it was difficult to find information about theatre schools, acting schools, etc. But, I quickly realized none of it was local. It was all happening you had to go Manchester, you had to go Leeds, Liverpool, London. And I think at one point, I'm pretty sure I got into a really reputable, famous place in London, and the place off the top of my head is not coming, but if London Acting School, whichever one it was. And I did it, like 16 to 18, I'm like, should I go? And it's like, you're on your own, you're the only one, where do you stay, how much is it going to cost, etc. Anyway, I just kept doing my own thing. I ended up getting involved in the Apna Bazaar, which was a multicultural, diverse event with music, with modeling, with fusion, with dance, with food. And I was part of that for the best part of a decade. And then by chance, I'd randomly be walking on a day out with my friend. I remember there was one day I was with my mate Zaf, and we were walking through town, we done shopping, kind of dressed up quite well for young people. And some woman just came up to us and gave us a card, and she was quite pretty and all that. And she's like, "Oh, do you want to be in a movie?" And we were like, "Yeah, we're gonna go to this place. We're gonna get robbed or kidnapped or whatever." And she gave us a card, and she was like, "Oh, come to this bar." And I was like, I knew the name of that bar, and I was like, "That place is closed." She's like, "Yeah, we've hired it for the day. We're filming there, but we've got to leave by 6 p.m. And that sounded about right to me. So I told me, I said, we'll both go together. If it looks legit, we'll go do it. Lo and behold, we went in. Full camera crew, lighting, the cameras with the Panavision on them, really top quality equipment, one camera, maybe 150 grand, 100 grand, I don't know. And we were part of this movie, don't even know what it was. We got paid, we got fed, we got watered, and we had a day out. And that's when the bug started. And I was like, all right, how do I get about this? And I think this is a topic I'll talk more in depth on another episode, but how do you get into it? How do you go with an agency? Do you need spotlight? Is it, can you be registered to more than one agency? All this kind of stuff. How do you get in there? Again, it's one of those things. I mean, I'm one of those people that, let's say somebody contacts me about a part, and I think I can't do it, I don't have the time for it, or I'm doing something else. I won't say no to that company or casting director straight away. What I'll be like is, I can refer somebody to you, or I'll pass it on to somebody and give somebody else that opportunity. But what you find is there's not a lot of people like that. I've known people who have asked them about, oh, have you heard about such and such a audition? And they'll be like, no. And then I've been to the audition, and they're there, and it's like, why lie? Obviously, anything could happen. The best person gets it. Whoever acts the best gets it. Or, you know what? The person that gets it is the one that the director thinks looks cosmetically best for the part. there's a movie that came out about 5-6 years ago. I think it's called See Me Run or Look Daddy. Basically, it's a film for production, and it's about an Asian girl that runs away with an English lad. It was on Film 4 recently. I think it's, what's it called? See Me Run or Daddy See Me Run, something like that. And it's about how her brother and some lads try and get hold of her and try and get hold of that guy, and you know, different themes that explode in that. Me and 2 of my friends had an audition for that, and we didn't get it. And literally the feedback we got was, you know, we're looking for people that have got a certain look. They wanted more people that were like kind of from that area where it was set, etc. They wanted them to look a certain way, talk a certain way. We then had an audition for another movie, and I think that was a film for production. And I kid you not, the reason why we never got the role in that movie, in that production, was because we got told that, you know what, you kind of look too presentable. Like even if we rough you up with the stubble and the beard and all that kind of stuff and skinhead, whatever, you know, that's not what the director's looking for. They're looking for people that are a bit more like grimy and some of them funky people that you see in town. But yeah, I've done a TV show. No, I'm not famous. Did I make fun? Did I have fun? Yes. Did I make a TV show? Yes. Was I part of pre-production, post-production, in front of the camera, behind the camera? Yes. Did I make some money? Yes. Did it lead to more work? Yes. Was it hard work at times? Yes. But did I enjoy it? Yes. Would I do it all over again? Yes. Am I an A-list celebrity? No. Am I a super millionaire? No. Did my work come on TV? Yes. Did it end up on DVD? Yes. Did it end up on countries abroad? Yes. So at the end of the day, whether people like it or mourn or complain or say, look, oh, he thinks it's bad, he's on TV, or look, you know, he thinks he's famous, whatever. The thing is, it's something I wanted to do, it's something I've done, it's a tick box, bucket list, whatever. And for me, you know what, I'm not joking, it led to about 18 months worth of TV work after that. Commercials, background artists, walking across the camera on TV shows, small movies. And if people are into it and people want to do it, I'd suggest, yeah, go for it. But just, you know, have a realistic expectation, and I'll go through with that with you another time. But at the same time, you know what, there can be times where you're really busy and booked up for like this much of the year, but then you're empty for this much of the year. It varies. And you know, sometimes you can be the best actor, best actress, and it's all about your look. It's as simple as that. Yes, somebody messaged me before saying, have you got a bubble on your hand? Yes, I have. And the reason why I've got a bubble is because at night time my hair goes all over the place. So what I do is tie it up into a little pony. So there you go. But it's not that time yet. But yeah, so this was my first episode myself of Keeping It Real. Thank you for those people who have joined in. Please join in next week. I'm gonna attempt to do it every Saturday at 9 p.m. And I might do some more episodes just to break it up. So, because some people like it with all the different conversations in one like episode, and some people prefer it like when I'm breaking it down. So I might do one entertainment, one sports, one boxing and training, and one TV work, etc. In a nutshell, moving forwards, all I can say is we've done the first week of March. This is the 9th week of the year. We've got like 40 whatever it is weeks left. Revisit your goals, revisit your dreams, your aspirations. Do what you want to do, as long as you don't hurt anybody and don't hurt yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, or otherwise. Be a good person. Do the best you can with what you've got. Don't be negative. Keep that whinging, negative stuff away from me. I do not need it whatsoever. And just do what you can. Moving forwards, the rest of the year, God knows best. I do have 2 independent projects. One's a really good, nitty gritty, down to earth, real life drama, and that explores themes of racism, culture, Asian culture, mixed race relationships, single parent marriages, drugs, gangs, crime, prison, etc. And I have one which is more of an upbeat, comedy-ish, real to life, based on stress, and it's people coming together with a common issue, and that's more of a comedy. But again, things like that depend on time, depend on finances, depend on backing. If not, potentially I will do it independently, and should anybody want to get involved in any capacity anyway, I'm open to having a discussion and explaining to you who, what, why, when, how. But you know what, on another episode of Keeping It Real, I will talk about it. Thank you to everybody who joined in live. Please like, share, subscribe on my Insta, on the YouTube channel, and that's all, but only for now. Hopefully I'll be back, and hopefully I won't look as tired and won't be rubbing my eye as much. I do love you all. Please take care, look after yourself, look after your friends, look after your family, but remember, before you look after anybody else, look after yourself. So thanks a lot. I've been your host for Keeping It Real, and I'll see you next time. I've got to take the camera and switch it off now.